Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Data here with breaking news in the NHL. Of course, we are all waiting on the Jake Gensel news, but another trade has gone down in the meanwhile. Another domino that we've been waiting to fall has fallen as the San Jose Sharks have traded Anthony Duclair with a 2025 seventh round pick to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for prospect defenseman Jack Thompson and a 2024 third round pick. We'll start breaking it all down. Who is Jack Thompson? What is this return? Is this good for the Sharks? I think it is a slam dunk win for them. Duclair has been not great, but he's been an enjoyable piece with the Sharks in such a down year. He signed in the offseason. I think it was definitely the expectation that he would be moved around the deadline. I don't think that many people thought that his value would be a third and a prospect, though. So I think this is a big win for the Sharks. And the Lightning get a very fun piece in exchange. Vasi, being a Lightning fan, says, this isn't it. Love Thompson as a prospect. Prospect and a third is a bit of a steep price to pay. But it depends on a lot here. If the Lightning could find a way to extend Duclair and make him a middle six forward player going forward, Duclair's already been in Florida with the Panthers before. I don't know. If it's just a pure rental, I do find it's a bit heavy on the price tag. We'll start breaking it down in just a second. Noah leaving a comment. Love the channel. Can't wait for the stream. Thank you, Noah. Was wondering if you could do an NHL 24 Montreal Canadiens franchise. I've done an NHL 18 franchise, and I did a cup or bust, but I've never done an NHL 24 full franchise mode. But I do whatever the people vote for. So next time that we're doing a series, when I put a poll on the channel, if you vote for it, I will do it. Thank you, Noah. So let's start breaking it down. First, we'll look at Anthony Duclair himself, the player that Lightning got back in this deal. He is a speedy scoring winger. He's actually grew up not too far from me either. I know a few people who actually know him. He briefly forgot how to score in 2022-23, but has since figured it out again. Some playmaking upside too. Fun bet for the Bulls. I think that's a good way to put it. A fun bet. And as Sumit says in the comment, Duclair will be fun in the playoffs. I think he's a good fit, very speedy. I agree with you. I think that's a good way to describe Duclair. I think in the right environment, not having to be such I don't think he's eating crazy minutes. I don't think he has to be has as much pressure on him anymore. He was playing some big minutes, 16, 19, 21 minutes per night. So yeah, 16, 10. He's used to being in 14, 15, 16, 13, 12. He's in that range. His career average is what now? 14, 28. This year's playing 16, 10. Is that a huge jump? Maybe not, but it's definitely enough to make an impact on having to do a lot more than he's used to doing. So Anthony Duclair, looking at the last 3 years weighted average data, he's in the 78th percentile. You got to give it to him. Yeah, it's third line ice time, but 78th percentile of projected wins above replacement. And again, Sumit says you can't judge any skater who's been on the Sharks this season. Much more upside there. The team has been historically bad. Yes, it's true. It's true. He's playing the most minutes he's ever played on probably the worst team he's ever been a part of. And even then, we look at this year, he has provided a lot of value. After he fell off a cliff in 22-23, he found his way back to the Sharks. He did exactly what people expected him to do. He signed a contract that was worth more than he probably would have gotten paid. He's going to get big minutes. He'll get traded to a contender or someone who's buying at the deadline. And that is exactly what has happened here, as he had 27 points in 56 games. That is an 82-game pace of 40 points, so definitely not on a career high pace just quite, but again, take the context into account. He goes from Florida to San Jose, back to Tampa Bay. Has anyone had a better career in terms of weather than Anthony Duclair? Arizona, Florida, San Jose, Tampa Bay. What a guy. What a guy. So yes, going back to his value as a player, even strength offense in that 83rd percentile over the last 3 years. Even strength defense, not so much. Good thing he's going to a good team like Tampa Bay. But look, even on such a bad team as San Jose, he's gone from like the bottom of the league to close to that 25th percentile of even strength defense just in 23-24. So even though his numbers may not show it, this has been a solid year for Anthony Duclair. Great bounce back year. The finishing has gone astronomically jumped back to where it used to be, while his even strength offense has fallen. So finishing, huge bounce back. Offense, a little bit of a drop, and defense coming back up a little bit as well. He has a lot. He's in there for the primary assists, 83rd percentile. He is drawing the penalties. He is playing with high levels of competition, against high levels of competition with high finishing. So I think that Anthony Duclair on the Lightning squad provides a lot more value than Anthony Duclair on the San Jose Sharks squad, right? So if we jump over to Anthony Duclair, just looking at the numbers again on him, of course, not a career year, former third-round pick in 2013. He's jumped around a little bit. He's been bounced around. Rangers, Coyotes, Blackhawks, Blue Jackets. He was really moving around a lot until he found a couple of years with the Sens, then 3 years with the Panthers, now Sharks, now Tampa Bay, another team on the map for Anthony Duclair, who's been all around the league here. But I like it for the Sharks. Now, the question is, did the Tampa Bay Lightning give up too much when we go look at Jack Thompson? Now, I personally did not know much about Jack Thompson, 21-year-old, defenseman, drafted in the 3rd round of 2020. So another 2020 prospect to be traded today after Perreault and Mishak were traded. So Jack Thompson gets moved, 3rd round pick in 2020. He has played only 1 NHL game, but in the AHL, he's put up some good numbers. In his first year in the AHL, 23 points in 71 games. But this year, jumping up to putting a higher pace than his junior scoring, 32, well, 34 and 36. Take that into account. It's true. But 32 points in 46 games with the Syracuse Crunch down in the AHL. That's really something to note there. 2nd in team scoring as a defenseman. So what's their record down here? Yeah, they seem to be a winning team as well. So I don't think that I wouldn't call him the most offensive of offensive defensemen. I really don't know much about Jack Thompson, but it does seem as though he's developing well. After a first full season in Syracuse last year, he seems to be developing into what you would hope to see from a 21-year-old. He'll be turning 22 in just a couple of weeks, it looks like. This is a solid piece to bring back with a 3rd round pick for the Sharks. Yeah, I like this deal a lot for them. A good ROI on giving a player a 1-year contract. They take back a 3rd and a prospect. Now, when they add that 3rd to their stockpile, let's check out what that gives them now. That gives them a 3rd. They had no 3rd in 2024. So they have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 1 3rd, 1 4th, 1 5th, and those 3rd, 4th, 5th, all from different teams. So the 3rd was traded away in February 2023, the 4th back in July of 2021, the 5th in March of 2023, right? And this 5th in December of 2023. So they've gotten to recoup their picks through getting value from other teams. So they're back to having 1 3rd, 1 4th, 1 5th. And they still have, what kind of money could they play around with? They still have $12.4 million to play around with into the deadline tomorrow. Who knows how that works into other deals as well. I'm prepared, Landon. I'm ready to do it. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. We'll see how busy. We'll see how busy it ends up being. The Lightning still have $2.927 million to play with, so it's not. It doesn't have to be over yet for the Lightning, but they continue to deplete their picks here, as they now have no picks in the first 4 rounds of 2024. Their first pick in the draft comes in round number 5, then 6th, then 3 7ths. In 2025, no 2nd, no 3rd. They have a couple of 4ths. So just to say, you know, if they had to give up a pick, it's unfortunate that it had to be in 2024, because that really just decimates anything they could have done at the draft this year. No picks until the 5th round. Are they worried about that with all their rings and all their glory and all their stars on their team? Not so much. But just to say, eventually those players need to become something, and they'll have to start keeping their picks eventually. So Anthony Duclair does come in here at $3 million. No salary retention, I don't believe. An expiring UFA. Could they find a way to keep him long-term on a cheap AAV that pays him like a long-term extension? If Duclair wants to settle down, be with one team for a long time, he's already enjoyed his time with the Panthers. If he wants to settle down, then I wouldn't be shocked to see Duclair sign like a 4 or 5 year extension in that $3 million range, similar to a Nick Paul type of thing. Noah, do you think the Sharks will ever trade Logan Couture? Yes, I think they will eventually. I think either he's going to retire or they'll buy him out, or they'll just LTIR him until his career's over. Depends. It sounds like the injury trouble is really getting to him here. Gensel trade could come within the next 20 minutes. True. We'll be back live with the Gensel breakdown whenever it does come. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Duclair to the Tampa Bay Lightning. He is a speedy winger. I think he will fit well in their lineup. A 3rd and Jack Thompson going to the Sharks. I think that is a fantastic haul. Not that it's crazy value to give up by the Lightning, but it's a fantastic haul to give up on a player, to give for a player who you just signed to a 1-year deal and probably expected to be moving on from at the deadline. And that's exactly what happened. You can play him in your top 6, in your middle 6. He's done it before. He can now have a little bit less of a workload on him. This is the type of move that I would see Tampa Bay Lightning making, and I think that Duclair does fit nicely. Now the Sharks, for their trouble, get a prospect in a 3rd. The Lightning have continued to deplete their draft picks, so it's going to be tough if they want to do anything else. And Jack Thompson joins the Sharks organization as another defender. For them, they have who? They have Mukmadulin, they have Thrum, they have a few defensemen in there. So Jack Thompson joins the group there in San Jose. So I like this deal very much for the San Jose Sharks. I like it for the Lightning as well, but it's a lot of value to give up. A prospect and a third for a pure rental. I think this is much more digestible if Duclair signs a nice kind of 4x3 type of extension. And I can see the Lightning doing that. If that were to be the case, it makes a lot more sense for me. If it's a pure rental and the Lightning don't go far, it's not your blue chip prospect, it's not your top pick, but now you have no picks in 2024 until the 5th round, and you just gave up another prospect, which you don't have very many of. So I think there is something to be said for that. But Duclair, valuable player. I'm excited to see what he'll bring to Tampa Bay. I think cool players. Yeah, Doggy, thanks for saying so. I'm glad you're able to enjoy. He is a speedy scoring winger. He forgot how to score in 2022-23, but in 2023-24, he has remembered. His value has not skyrocketed, but it's gone back up to where it should be. Same for his finishing, a big letter V for the finishing right there. And I think that he'll do very well in Tampa's system. So let me know what you think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't seem like the Canes are doing anything. Well, no, SB, the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be acquiring Jake Guentzel. We'll be live in the next few minutes, whether it's in 5, 10, 20, half an hour, an hour. We'll be live later this evening with all the details on the Jake Guentzel trade. So make sure that you are subscribed and with your notifications turned on to be made aware of when we go live with all that breaking news as it happens. Thank you very much for being here. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and make sure to leave your comments down, your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know who do you think wins this trade and why, especially if you're a Tampa fan or a Sharks fan. What does this mean for your team? Will they still be, will the Lightning still be active at the deadline here? That's a great question as well. Yes, it's going to be a very good fit. He's very speedy. It fits the Lightning kind of game here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here. We'll be live again soon in the next, whatever it is, for the Jake Guentzel news and every other trade leading up to tomorrow's trade deadline. We'll have live coverage for a few hours tomorrow afternoon. So I look forward to seeing you there and seeing you again later this evening when we have more news to break. Anthony Duclair, the newest member of the Tampa Bay Lightning, they had to do something and they did it. Now we'll see how it pays off. Thanks, everybody, and we'll talk soon.